Hello everyone, I'm here in Narnia, also known as River's Edge, London, Ontario, and I'm here to answer a question that I've had for quite a long time, and that is whether or not UDisc is more accurate at measuring hole distances than the T-signs. So I know everyone's heard someone say before, hey, the T-sign says it's 300 feet, but the app says that it's 280 feet, and I believe that more. I think that that's incorrect. I think that the T-signs, at least in London, Ontario, are more accurate than UDisc. And the reason that I think that is because the course designers have a lot more tools at their disposal to measure the courses accurately. They can use GPS, they can use maps, they can use rangefinders, whereas UDisc, the only way that that's measured is when the course ambassador stands on the T-pad and uses the GPS on their phone to mark the location of the T-pad plus or minus 15 feet. Then they walk over to the basket and they mark that location plus or minus 15 feet. So I think that that's a range of error of about 30 feet. And I think that the T-signs are going to be a lot more accurate, at least in London. Now, in order to test this hypothesis that the T-signs are more accurate, I brought a basketball, pun intended, basketball, and a rangefinder. And I'm going to walk through the course and accurately measure the distances from the T-pads to the baskets for all of the holes in London. So that's 18 holes at River's Edge and 9 holes at Basil Grover. And I'm going to compile that data and then find out conclusively what's more accurate, the T-sign or UDisc.
The method here is pretty simple. I just grabbed the basketball and a rangefinder and walked through the course, putting the basketball on the basket or beside the basket or on top of the basket, whatever position was less obstructed. And then I walked back to the T-pad, rangefinded it, and then recorded the results. Now, the basketball was pretty helpful. The reason that I brought it was so that I wouldn't be shooting through the basket, because the basket has a lot of empty space in it, and I didn't want to be hitting 5 feet behind the basket and causing inaccuracy that way. The basketball wasn't needed for that as much as I expected, but I did use it quite a bit when there was an obstruction in the way. So the rangefinder doesn't work if there's anything in the way. So I would put the basketball on top of the basket or beside it or anywhere that there wasn't anything in the way, as long as it was still like beside the basket. And I was able to get a lot more accurate results that way. On River's Edge, I was able to get 14 of the 18 holes. 4 of the holes were either blind from the T-pad or they were too obstructed to get a good view of it. And then Basil Grover, I was able to get 8 out of the 9 holes, which is pretty good. I didn't need the basketball much at all at Basil Grover. I still used it just to stay consistent. But the River's Edge course, it came in handy on 3 or 4 holes. Now for the results. The T-signs won, and it was a pretty substantial difference that caught me off guard. I thought they'd win. I didn't think they'd win by as much as they did. So the T-signs were more accurate for 18 out of 22 holes. The UDisc was more accurate for 3 out of 22 holes, and there was one tie because they both had the exact same distance for one hole. The T-signs had 15 bullseyes, so I consider that anything within 2 feet of the actual result. UDisc had 3 bullseyes. The T-signs through both courses had 71.7 feet total inaccuracy, and UDisc had 228 feet total inaccuracy through both courses. So the end result, the T-signs were on average off by 3.23 feet per hole, whereas UDisc was off by 10.4 feet per hole. I expected the T-signs to be off by a little bit more, and I expected UDisc to be off by a little bit more. So it looks like UDisc might just be off by the plus or minus 15 feet, like they say they are in the app, and the T-signs are pretty darn spot on. I think that's a pretty good testament to just how much care the local club has put into this course. Now, what about yours? Do you think that your course has T-signs that are more accurate than UDisc? Let me know in the comments below.